AMA, Ask Me Anything, as well as uh, just answering questions about Shark Tank and answering questions about the channel, taking a look at some of the stats that we've had that I've been able to amount over the last year of doing Shark Tank and The Profit and Bar Rescue and Undercover Billionaire, all of that. So I am super pumped to be here. I'm super pumped to be answering your questions, and I just thank you all for being here. Thank you all for enabling this to be a thing. It has been such a journey. And you will see that reflected in the numbers here, in the rapid growth that has happened, not only in the last like 3 months or 4 months, but over the course of a year, has been absolutely phenomenal. And I just am like absolutely like over the moon about the fact that people are excited about what I do here on the channel, and it just feels like such a validation after so long of putting all the pieces together. Oh, that didn't do it right. Of putting all the pieces together and to make all this happen. So we're gonna go through some stats. I'm just pulling up all the numbers here as soon as I can figure out how to do it properly. Okay, cool. So I'm not gonna go into like specific. Oh, Super Denny Decoy in the house. Welcome, sir. Thank you. I really appreciate you, Denny, for being here through this journey, being a part of it, and having a great time learning every step of the way. And I know you said that you have your own business that you're working on, that you want to bring to the Shark Tank, and you asked me to be a part of that, which would be absolutely I'd be absolutely honored, and would be incredible to get to share that space with you. So like let's actually, you know what? Let me put in some other custom days here, and we'll to tell the story a little bit better, right? So we're gonna go back. Let's take it back to just December of last year, or November and December of last year, and we can start to take a look and see how this thing has absolutely just piled on itself over and over and over again. I see Sean's in the room. What's up, Sean? Good to see you, sir. What is this doing? I want to disable that. Let's see. Manage, disable. Because this is... Yeah, okay, cool. So let's start. Last year, when I started doing these videos on the 18th, oh man, it was... let me go back a little bit longer than that. All right, let me share my screen here. So I was posting videos throughout, and it was it was fine. I was experimenting with a lot of different things. I brought on some different content from my independent podcast conference and community. If you don't know about that, go to indiepodcon.com. And that combined with these podcasts that I've been producing since 2014. So I had a good chunk of videos at the time, but it wasn't really cohesive, and it wasn't it was kind of just like a dumping ground at one point. And it's like, I have a couple hundred subscribers, and we want to make that a thing, make this channel grow, and there was no plan, there was no real anything in place to make that happen. And then I finally went ahead and dumped in the 2 days there, I dumped my first 2 Biz Coach Reacts videos that were actually the first episode of The Prophet ever. There was like the pilot episode of The Prophet. And I shared it out, and it got like 72 views, then 52 views of the channel, and then slid back down to 30. And then I guess I started posting the first Shark Tank one I ever did was the Working Stiffs from season 2, or yeah, it was season 2. Working Stiffs was the first Shark Tank video that I had posted, which was great. It got some traction. I was sharing it on Facebook, and I was like, wow, I'm getting like 30 views a day. And then I kind of split up the profit videos, and you can kind of see my thumbnails there, real small at the bottom. But I was doing like the classic reaction thing, making the YouTube face and doing the things that other people are doing. And truth be told, clearly it wasn't really panning out. And the reason it wasn't panning out was because I wasn't sending the right audience to the site, or to the channel, right? So it's like, oh, I'm doing these things, but nobody's searching for these businesses from The Prophet. And I was taking one episode of The Prophet that was an hour long, and it's like, oh, cool, I'll chop it up into 4 or 5 parts, 4 or 5 videos, and that is going to be what moves the needle for me. That's going to make all the difference. Well, because people are going to watch the first part, then they're going to want to watch the second part, and the third part, and the fourth part, and the fifth part. And it's like, hey, that's 5 views. How awesome. Ding, ding. We're going to have so much growth. But that didn't seem to be the case. So I went through, and then I came back around to do my second Shark Tank video, and that had a little bit of traction, and we just kind of bounced around here to the end of December. And I wasn't really taking it too serious at the time. See, I even did social media for your business. So I did a coaching session video, and then I kind of took the rest of December off. But what you don't see there is I didn't actually take off. What I was doing was I was trying to figure out the best way to get my videos onto YouTube, because the copyright bot is kind of a pain, and it made it very difficult to get my videos through. And I remember sitting here literally this is my studio, but it's also a garage, or originally a garage, and just here in my garage, and that it was really a time where I was like I would upload like 30, 40 videos in a row. Like, I would make an edit, wait for that edit to process, and of course at the time I didn't have certain Adobe Premiere. I don't think I had the Adobe Premiere version that uses the graphics processor, the GPU of my computer, to like render the video really, really fast. So I didn't it would take like 10, 15, 20 minutes to render these videos, and then I'd have to upload them and wait for YouTube to basically swat it down, and then I'd make some changes and adjust and make another change and re-upload and re-upload and re-upload and re-upload. And I remember getting kind of frustrated, and I was talking to my wife through the whole process, and like, oh, I'm trying this, and oh, this got through, and then bam, like an hour later, I'd be like, nope, it didn't finish processing, and that video got taken down before it ever even got going. And those times it was really, it was tough. Like, I didn't know if what I was doing was good enough. I was watching lots of YouTube videos, studying not just the greats, but like other people's reaction videos, finding other channels to get that opportunity to say, ooh, what's working for them? How are they doing these videos? How are they getting away with this? And how can I reverse engineer that for my own? So if it's like, oh, I'd see something, I'd be like, ooh, I got to try this. Ooh, I got to try this. I got to try this. And I spent that month, pretty much all of December, trying to figure it out. And so we'll fast forward here to January 1st, 2021. And there, is that the whole, I don't want the whole year. We'll go to was there like 28 days? Oh, these calendar things drive me up a wall here. 28 days. All right. So if you look here, I was still getting a little bit of traction, I tried posting some shorter videos. I tried a Mr. Beast burger and I was like, oh man, I'm going to totally do this video. And then my Beast burger never showed up. And it took me like weeks to get my refund from Beast burger because apparently the person who picked it up ate it. And so I did a video about that. I was like, oh man, this is going to get so much traction and blah, blah, blah. And I think it's got like 90 views to date or something like that. Someone ate my Mr. Beast burger video. That was supposed to be a review. Then I finally, after all that trouble and headache of doing and testing and trying to get, the format right, to get the video to go through and not be a problem, I got one. I got this one on January 13th over at CBS Foods with Chef Big Shake. And it's like, okay, cool. Like it was, these are views per day. These are views per day. I mean, when you see where we're at now, like 11 views in a day. I mean, look, I can just go over here. It's just 342 views in an hour, and I was getting 11 views in a day, right? So then I started to figure it out, and I started posting, videos a little more frequently, a couple times a week. Little more frequently. What I found was when I post Shark Tank instead of The Profit or Bar Rescue, it would go a little bit harder, and a little bit harder. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to start doing these Shark Tank. I'm going to start cranking out these Shark Tank videos. So I did that, and I still mixed in the bar rescue for good measure because I wanted it to. I don't want to get pigeonholed into just doing Shark Tank videos because I'm not Shark Tank Joe. I'm Super Joe Pardo, and I want to help you bring the super out of you. So Shark Tank is a vehicle for that, just like Bar Rescue, just like The Profit, and all of that. So, all of these things it's all intentional so that I don't get pigeonholed. Now I see Sean here asked or said persistence and variation is key. Absolutely. I think it's important to demonstrate that you have more skill set available to you that you can bring to the table. And with that said, posting cat videos and your business videos and this video and like being very sporadic isn't necessarily a good thing either, because it kind of, you're going to have people that come for the cat videos but not come for the podcasting advice or coming for this or that advice. And I know I'm talking about YouTube here today. This is the 1 year anniversary of the well, not of the channel, but of the reaction videos and the super growth. Growth in general. The super growth will come in March, but I think Sean says Super Joe Pardo does cat videos. I don't. I am allergic to cats. Cats are cool, I guess. Not my thing, and I'm allergic to them, sadly. It is tough because I got friends and family that have cats, and then I can't go to their house. So, I kept posting. I did all these old Shark Tank videos, and I was getting pretty good, what I felt was pretty good traction, because when you compare it to like 3 views in a day to like 30 views a day, hey, just 10x, like, yeah, 10x, yeah, Grant Cardone, rah, rah, rah. And now I'm going to go to, I guess I could have did the last 365, but I'm going to go to, let's jump to the full 2021 picture. Actually, no. Before we do that, let's go from March 1st to July, because July 4th is when, or we'll go July 1st is when I got monetized. So I'm posting, and then in March I started to figure out, I'm doing all this research, and I figured out that, there's a ton of search traffic that I'm missing out on by doing these Shark Tank videos from literally over 10 years ago, 11 years ago. And there's an opportunity there for me to capitalize on that search traffic. So I talked to my wife, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do these videos. I'm gonna do them the night that they come out. So the show airs, I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna post it, and we're gonna see if we get some traction out of this. And lo and behold, we did. We got traction. So you see these spikes, right? These spikes show 710 Saturday, 750. Then there was, Shark Tank kind of, I think they might have taken like a week or two off, and then all of a sudden, bam, came up because Shark Tank came back on the air. So I think we took it was like 2 weeks off or something like that. And every single one of these spikes is a Saturday because I was like, you know what, I'm going to capitalize where the traffic is, where the traffic's going. And I want people to know and hear, look, in your business, look for those trends, right? And look for the opportunities that you can really pop off what you're doing like a lot faster. Now, one of the things that I did a lot once I started gaining that little bit of traction, right? Yeah, smartest chess move ever. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Denny also says, yes, sir. We're working on it now. I can't wait. And you have great memory. Yes, sir. I definitely still want you to come. I do have great memory. It's almost to a fault, honestly. It's like literally, I've talked about this on, I think, one other podcast. But yeah, so you look at the trends, look at what people are doing, and then consistently, like, we built a slightly higher platform time and time again, week after week, and then all of a sudden we had one that just popped off. It was like blew up, right? And during this time, I was having guests on my show. I was doing a lot of these videos with guest co-hosts, guest biz coaches, and I love having those guest people on. I really do. From Larry to Samantha Riley, Nate Bailey, Andy Wong. Like, there is so many great guests that I've had on this show, and I feel bad because I'm not mentioning all of them. But I was like consistently like putting out episode after episode with a guest coach, and honestly, I wasn't even asking those people to share the videos. They wanted to share them. That was fine. I didn't expect them to share them. I was having a great time having a guest. I did so many with Larry. All those Friday nights with Larry. Larry, I love you. And it was so much fun to do it. But I'll tell you, part of that was me being, I don't know if I want to say scared, but nervous, right? And I was nervous because I at the time there was still a lot of negative comments coming in through the channel. Oh, shut up. Like, shut up and let us watch the video. It isn't about you, and things like that. And for me, that really, it definitely weighed on me. It definitely, like, as much as I'm just like, I would type in, I appreciate you watching and commenting, because I knew that it was growing the channel and the subscriber rate was growing consistently. It was really, it still kind of weighed on me that, like, am I doing the right thing? There's people that are saying I'm doing the right thing, but then for every one that I was getting that was positive and like, hey, every super Denny decoy out there, that would say something positive, there was 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 comments, and they always seem to like come like back to back to back to back. Which makes me wonder if it's like the YouTube algorithm doing that, like maybe intentionally testing the wrong audience for the content. But I'll show you some stats a little bit later that show, like, I don't know, maybe it's just the people that are searching for the show, for Shark Tank, and that was part of the problem as well. So, I was kind of nervous. So I brought, even though I did a bunch of episodes in the beginning by myself, I was bringing in guests. I was having a great time. But I'll tell you, as I've gone through this journey, I've come back around. And for anybody that really follows the channel, about 2.5 months ago, 3 months ago, I made a statement that I was going to start doing the videos solo, all videos going solo going forward, unless it's an interview video, which pretty much are only with Shark Tank, Bar Rescue, The Profit, or Undercover Billionaire. People have been on those shows, and the reason is because what I found was when I do these videos solo, which over the summer I mostly did them solo, they would get more likes. and they were getting more views, and they were getting more positive comments than the past ones where I had guests, where the videos were longer. They took a lot longer to do. And the thing is people, when they're watching these videos, to drop a like below, which if you haven't dropped a like or hit the share button, like, go and do that. But to drop a like below, that means that they had to like me, they had to like my guest, they had to like the video that they were actually watching, and the way I shoot these videos being all in real time. Like, I'm literally changing everything on the fly with my Stream Deck here, which you can kind of see the button thing here. Like, yeah, so you can kind of see it in the corner. But I'm doing all that on the fly intentionally so I can turn out content quick, so I can be genuine with my reactions, so I can be genuine with like my assessments and being able to figure things out and be real about it. Like, anybody could like go and, oh, hold on, let me pause the video, let me go Google this and find out, oh, now I can sound like the smartest guy in the room. Anybody could do that. Not anybody can be me and be me in that moment, doing the camera switches and being there with my notebook and my pen, figuring out the valuations. And I know people get on me about the math and things like that sometimes. I'm not perfect at it. I'm trying to get better at it. And that's one of those things where it's like, you need to get better day in and day out. So, Sean asks, let's see, do you think it's a coincidence you started crushing it right when COVID started to happen? No. So I started in 2020, November 2020. COVID happened in March of 2020. It was quite a, 7 months later, so 8 months later when I started posting these videos. So yeah, my math is way off. Well, you're on brand for this channel because my math is sometimes not perfect because I want to keep the video flowing. I want to keep the momentum going. And to me, that's more important than sometimes, look, I get the math wrong. Like, it happens, especially when I would have guests on, because I'm like trying to pay attention to the guests. I'm trying to pay attention to the video. I'm trying to make sure that we get our promotions in. I'm trying to make sure that I tell people to smash that like button. I'm telling, on all these things. And it's just a lot going on in a video that isn't going to be edited. So going back to the stats, the last Shark Tank I think aired, this was probably the last Shark Tank airing, was on May 22nd. So after that, I was like, okay, well, things are going to slide down and, it's going to all dissipate, right? It's all going to kind of just evaporate on me here. And hey, Jody, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Jody Krangle is awesome. If you need a voiceover actress, you need to reach out to Jody Krangle. Jody, drop your link in the comments so people can go and check that out. She is a phenomenal voice actress and a phenomenal person, just a great human being to get to know. So yeah, so going through, like, I was like, oh no, like, what am I going to do? Shark Tank isn't doing the thing. And then there was like, I don't know, there's a couple of days where I spiked to like 1,000, but it was just kind of, motoring right along. So let's make the custom. Let's go 7-1 to today, which is the 11-17. Well, yesterday's stuff, right? So we're motoring right along, and then something happened. I'm going to jump over here. We finally got to 1,000. There you go. It's you're so welcome. Voiceoversandvocals.com. Totally go and check that out over there. So something happened, and what happened was the channel hit 1,000 subscribers, which it seemed like it was taking forever to do, honestly, but it was steady. It was going from day to day. And let's just go to 2021. Like, it was steady, but there was some days where I had 0 subscribers, even still after but you can see like the vibration there is going, and it's finally starting to take off. But little by little, I would go through and hit these marks. And once we hit 1,000 subscribers here on the channel, which was July 3rd, which was awesome. Like I wasn't sure what to expect, but I had a theory. My theory was that once I got the 1,000 subscribers, I got monetized on YouTube, and my theory was that all of a sudden I was going to get a lot more views coming through the channel because YouTube now would be incentivized to share the content out, right? Now, with that said, YouTube, I think about in June or May, came out and said they were going to start putting ads in front of any and every video they deemed that they wanted to. Now, which I was kind of nervous about, about whether or not it would affect my ability to grow, because they're like, oh, well, we're already putting videos on your channel anyway. It doesn't really matter, if you're monetized or not. But that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case because as soon as July 3rd hit, I got the 1,000 subscribers. I submitted to be monetized. 2 days later, July 5th, I'm out on the golf course with my brother-in-law, my one of my wife's cousins, or cousin-in-law, I guess it would be. And all of a sudden, the views started to climb a little, just a little bit. But then 3 days later, or 2 days later, all of a sudden, it just took off. And it found a whole new floor of views coming through the channel. And then on August 11th was a peak. August 12th was a peak. 5,500 views in a day. And I was like, whoa, like how crazy is it? I was like, I don't even think on August 12th, if I go back to that day, I don't think I even posted a video that day. I don't know if I was posting 3 days a week or something like that at the time, but that day specifically, I did not even post a single video because it was a Thursday. I think I was doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Didn't post a video, and channel just popped off. And then all of a sudden, it started sliding down day by day by day. And I couldn't understand why. Don't understand why. Now, because I'm doing the research and I forgot to share my screen. Because I'm doing the research and because I'm doing, staying in tune with what's going on in the industry in which I'm trying to break into, or break through, I should say, I found a video from YouTube that was talking about it, and basically they're like, yeah, the reason August, the middle of August going into September is down isn't because we changed the algorithm. It's not because things change. It's because people's lives change. People are going back to school. People are doing things. Plus now we're getting into a post pandemic where we're like not quite post pandemic, but we're like in that weird period where people's habits are changing right before that, and yeah, so it was sliding, and I was starting to have like, oh no, it's things. Is this real? Is this working out? Is it regressing? Is it over? Is this it? Not it, but I kept trying to remind myself, look, Shark Tank comes back on in October. We got the date, October 8th. I made the decision. I'm going to continue to go forward doing it solo. The show solo, and to Super Denny Decoy's point over here. But look at you now, solo and stronger than ever, and then views and subscribers are going to the moon. Ding, ding. Absolutely, it's crazy, right? And for me, I was using that as a crutch, having guests and things of that nature. But here we are. Hey, what's going on? How do you say that? Is that Locust? I assume it's Locust. Welcome to the live stream here. So then things were kind of building up towards Shark Tank airing, and then Shark Tank aired, and bam, back up to 5,000. And then it's just kind of creating a new platform week over week. Every Saturday we're airing the newest Shark Tank episodes. And while this week was or the November 6th was a low cute us low cute us is how you say that. This week was the November 6th was an anomaly, not an anomaly, but there was a specific pitch that was on there, and that just did way beyond every other potential week. So, but when you compare like this week or past weekend, 14,000 versus the weekend before 12,000, the channel is still on the growth trajectory, which is absolutely awesome. Jody says you have to watch TNG, Joe, then you'd know how to pronounce Locutus. TNG. What does TNG stand for? Teenage Ninja, I don't know what the G stands for. Then is it like Star Trek: The Next Generation? Is that what that's from? I'm not sure. So the views have just been the next generation. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought it was. I've never really watched much Star Trek personally. But from the watch time, to me, this is like some of the most craziest things. Like 63,000 watch hours, or in a single day, like here, like almost 2,000 hours watched on the channel in a single day. Just like literally, it just blows my mind. It just blows my mind. And even with all that, the subscriber base, right? So the subscriber base is growing at a pretty good clip now. We're like, here's something I want to show. So on October 7th, just the day before Shark Tank comes back on the channel, or comes back on TV, I had -1 subs the day before, and I was not feeling great. I was actually feeling pretty darn bad about it, because I'm like, oh man, like, is this it? Is this over? Is this not? It's a day-to-day of a roller coaster ride, and it is just it is just crazy. So having -1 subscribers, and then the next day, getting 3 on Friday, and then 24, and then 24, and then just continues to just watch it grow and grow and grow. So you don't let these things get in the way. And one other thing I want to show that I think is really interesting here is the returning audience has been growing significantly. If I go just the last 28 days, there's 13,500 people, individual people, coming back to the channel to watch these videos, which is, from my understanding, is one of the most important metrics that you can possibly have. Because that means that people are coming back to the channel. So they're being recommended the videos, they're seeing the videos, they're clicking the videos. And the blue line is new viewers. So on Saturdays, we obviously get a ton of people that come in, that come back, or coming into the channel fresh and new, who've never seen my stuff before. But the returning is awesome. So to me, the returning number shows there's a big potential for growth in the subscriber count, and that's being reflected almost on a day-to-day basis, which is just phenomenal. I really can't state how much I really appreciate people taking the channel seriously, and taking what I do seriously. It literally means the world to me. And Lou is so good to see you in the chat. I absolutely appreciate you, man. And the audience has been assimilated. Well, we are absolutely getting there. And of course, there's regular with, is this the guy that talks over top of Shark Tank that I'm trying to listen to? Yes, it is. I am that guy. And I am just so excited that people, what went from like 4 negative comments to 1 super positive comment, it has pretty much flipped at this point to 4 positive comments, 5 positive comments, 6 positive comments, to 1 negative comment. And even if the positive comment isn't about me or the channel, it's not about me being, a jerk, or me being nobody, or getting out of the way, or mean, or anything to that effect. And that means a lot to me. It really, really does. Joshua, nice to see you. Welcome to the live stream here on this AMA, this 1 year anniversary of doing reaction videos. Lucis, spectacular. Let's see. Sean asks, have you tried playing around with shorts? It got our subs to 3x in like a month. No, I haven't played around with shorts, though I do plan to. It's been on my to-do list. Now that you're bringing this up, I'm going to bring this up. So the entrepreneurs, I have enjoyed doing that. I've been doing that for like a month and a half or so. Really enjoyed it. The views on that haven't been the greatest. So what I'm doing is I'm condensing. I was putting out like 8 to 10 videos a day, and I was losing my voice, and I was kind of getting miserable because like I was spending all this time and effort to like research what stories to bring to the table and what I wanted to bring to the table with each of those videos, and they weren't quite doing the business, if you will. So I'm like, okay. So that's when, as an entrepreneur, you got to like look at it like you did it for a month, or maybe it's 3 months, 6 months. You just got to look. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's time to pivot, right? Let's take the best of what I've learned and apply that to what the entrepreneurs could be. So to me, going forward, the entrepreneurs is going to be 1 day a week. Tuesdays, it's going to be one video, and it'll go out as a podcast as well on the Super Joe Pardo Show podcast channel. You can get that wherever you get podcasts. I hate that word, wherever. You can get it where your favorite podcast player of choice should have it. Anyway, the goal there is to take the entrepreneurs, shrink it down to about a 10-minute format, and make it a little more freestyle, a little more looser, a little more fast-paced. Instead of reading all the articles, I'll link all the articles down below and kind of read the headline, give a little background on it, and then give my take on it and what you could take away for your business. So really leaning into the entrepreneur part of the entrepreneurs, and maybe backing off because I felt like I was kind of getting lost in the weeds as far as like it becoming more of a news outlet than a entrepreneurs outlet. Wherever that's how you're supposed to pronounce it, apparently, according to Rager. So now that I'm going to only do that on Tuesdays, I have Shark Tank preview videos on Thursday. If there's no Shark Tank, like next week and the week after, there's no Shark Tank coming up, so there's no new episodes. But I'll be releasing some more reaction content then, Shark Tank, and I'll probably go and do another bar rescue video, and the next Undercover Billionaire Grant Cardone edition. I gotta get on that as well. So I got content coming down the pike. Entrepreneurs on Tuesday, Wednesday. For the next couple of weeks, I should have interviews with the entrepreneurs that have been on Shark Tank, as well as other reaction videos. Mondays will probably be off unless there's no new Shark Tank on Fridays. Then I'll probably do something on a Monday. So look for that. So there'll be some more Shark Tank videos coming, even though there's no new episodes after this Friday. So yeah, so kind of staggering it. Plus, I'm also doing, and I haven't mentioned this much, but I'm doing the Business Geeks podcast, which I'll actually be streaming on my YouTube channel later today with Samantha Riley and Jennifer Crawford, two business titans, entrepreneur titans, who we answer business questions. We took like a year off. We did 2020. We took most of 2021 off, and we're back for season 2. And it's just so much fun. We had such a great time. Those ladies are phenomenal. They're phenomenal at business. They're phenomenal at relating things and teaching people things, and have just an enormous amount of experience. You combine that with my experience. I host the show. It's a great time. Come back. It's 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursdays. So we're not going to do next week, but because of Thanksgiving, but it'll be later today. you can watch the newest episode. So it's like 30 minutes long. So to answer your question, Sean, no, I haven't done shorts yet. Yes, I do plan on doing them. I actually have a tripod, one of those flip pods that is set up with a vertical video, so I could just like drop my iPhone in place and make that happen, and make it go. So look for content. I was been thinking about what I would do for that content, because I also want to post to like TikTok and things of that nature, maybe Instagram as well. So I want to do more of those things. It just, with the entrepreneurs, it just took up too much time for me to be able to like really focus in and talk about one particular topic, and all, like, it just wasn't going to work for me to be able to do it 5 days a week like I was continued, because I wasn't getting the traction I wanted out of it. It wasn't worth eating up my voice day in and day out with these long, like 30-40 minute videos every day. TikTok is the best for organic reach and growth. Well, my wife asked me what was up with TikTok, because she doesn't have it. And I was like, well, it's mostly a bunch of people shaking their butt. But, aside from that, and she's like, oh, so why? She's like, why do you have this on your phone? I was like, well, because I got to create content for TikTok, because I know that there is such an organic reach. I mean, I had a video where literally I just took a video of like my MacBook keyboard and wrote did like a spinning test word on it, and that thing got like 500 views. It was literally like nothing. It was a video of nothing, and it captured 500 views. Absolutely insane. Sean says, could easily see repurposing the Shark Tank episodes taking off on TikTok. Yeah, the problem with that is I'd rather create fresh content, like new content. But maybe if I don't know, like, because maybe I might do it. We'll see. We'll see. I know I need to do more of the repurposing and things have just been, since the kids went back to school in the beginning of September, it's been like still adjusting to the school schedule and everything like that, and being available for my kids and all that, like trying to make all this happen. And now I have people literally booking up my calendar for me to, 15-minute conversations, to accelerator calls to see what I can help them do with their business is kind of not getting in the way, but it just changes the flow of everything of my day, and like literally, because now I have to go running in the morning, like at like 6:30 in the morning versus running in the afternoon, and all that, instead of running at like 9 o'clock and then doing the entrepreneurs at 10. So I'm just trying to like get through changing everything. Rager says, soon you'll be able to create a TikTok and IG reel using using my track with No Cheese Records when it's released in January. Love it. I'm looking forward to getting the music there, Rager, and helping promote that. And it's definitely going to be a lot of fun there, because I don't use too much music. I did have Epidemic Sound for a while, but just didn't really have a need for it, because I'm not doing content like that. Though I do, if you know anybody in the Philadelphia area, I definitely want to do another top with Super Joe Pardo. So that's another reason I wanted to maybe get away from doing the Entrepreneurs as a daily thing, because of the time that's going to take, where I go and help a business owner with their business in person, figuring out their processes and solving some of the biggest problems that they have. I did one episode. You can go and check that out. I think it's like superjoepardo.com/TV. I think that video is there. It is there. Yeah, it should be. Yeah, the original cut that was meant for TV is there. So you can go and check that out. Let's see. Low cut. I don't want to say it wrong. Locutus says Louis Rossman went to a right to repair hearing, and the people lobbying against right to repair were saying independent repair shops could install TikTok on your phone without you knowing. What? It's like the internet. It's not a big dump truck. It's a big series of tubes, and it'll get clogged and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, no, that seems hilarious. That's hilariously bad. Louis Rossman is awesome. I don't watch every one of his videos, but I do watch. I watch enough of his videos, especially when he has good really good topics that I want to hear his take on. I want to go when I get back up to New York. I want to go and visit him, assuming that still in New York and doesn't leave or is out of town at the time in which, because he seems to be out of town an awful lot all of a sudden. But yeah, so I'm huge. I really love the Right to Repair Act, especially given that my Pardo Fleet Solutions is a repair shop, and we repair heavy duty trucks and fight against all of this a lot. Locutus says New York real estate. Yeah, I mean he absolutely. I assume you're talking about Louis Rossman and his battles. Those videos are good with the real estate market in New York specifically. I want to jump over to these stats here. The impressions. This to me has been absolutely crazy. 2.1 million impressions in the last 28 days. And if you go back 365 days, there's 4.7 million impressions on the channel. And I remember, so when I was doing, well, one other thing I'll talk about here is my thumbnails for my Shark Tank videos have changed over the course of the last year. And when I would make a change, I would do a test on one of my most popular videos, see what the reaction was, and go from there. And when I would do that, I would actually take the time, and I've done it, I think, two, maybe three times. And I would go back and change all of the thumbnails for every single Shark Tank video that I did at that point, up to that point. And the reason is the click-through rate would go through the roof. Especially once I made the decision, it was a tough decision, to take my face off of the thumbnails. I had the YouTube reaction, oh man, I can't believe this or that. And I was like, I love the fact that people are getting to see my face. They're getting to know me through the videos. Like it's all going to build. But at the end of the day, sometimes you got to make the really tough decisions, and the really tough show that you have to get rid. Sometimes you have to make those decisions of like, I had to get rid of my face from the thumbnails. So as Locutus says, I think it's been proven that videos with people on thumbnails do better. They do. So I would have my reaction, right? And then I would have, actually, I don't know if maybe I can find one here. I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't, there isn't like a good spot there, but I'd have my reaction, then I would have them next to me, from that, whoever's pitching on the show, and then I would have like a banner that says Shark Tank and then the name of the company. And so I changed it from that to I got rid of the name of the company and just had Shark Tank and my face and their face. And then I did a test where I was like, well, what if I get rid of my face? And then all of a sudden, it really started to go. It really started to go a lot better. Like the click-through rate just jumped through the roof, as I can show you here. So like, I forget exactly when I did it, but I think it was over the summer. And all of a sudden, I went back, it changed all the click-through rate or the thumbnails, and it just continued to go up and up and up. Now, when the click-through rate starts to go down, it's because the impressions are going up, right? So it's squeezing it down. But even through all that, I have a 12.5% click-through rate. And from my understanding, the average is 2 to 10%. If I just click in the last 28 days, I'm at 10.2%, and they pretty much are still showing the channel to a ridiculous amount of people day in and day out, which is absolutely phenomenal to see. So sometimes, what we intend to do isn't always the thing that everybody wants to see. And yeah, I've gotten maybe 2 videos or 2 comments that people are like, oh, this channel's clickbait, it didn't show the video. Like, yeah, okay. Well, it didn't. The name of the channel was Super Joe Pardo too, but you probably didn't read that. And honestly, people would say the same comments even when my reaction face of was there. They would still say the same things like, "Oh, this is not what I clicked on for," and blah blah blah. So ultimately, I just went with like we're just gonna put the person's face. It doesn't need to say other than I'd put Shark Tank in the top left hand corner. Um, that's just reaffirming that this is what this video is about. And it, so far, and I've done a test where I took that banner out and it didn't make it literally stayed the same over the course of like a day and a half. So I was like, I'll leave the Shark Tank in there because there's probably more people that would prefer, like, we'll see it, especially like on a TV or something to that effect. You can actually read what it says right there in the thumbnail. Locuta says, if you look at Simon Whistler's channels, nearly all of his videos have a funny picture of him on it. Yeah, so it's a delicate balance. Even in the entrepreneurs, like if it's a picture of me, like I don't know how Meet Kevin gets away with it, other than he built such a big audience off of the stimulus checks back at the beginning of the pandemic that he's able to just break through with just like a picture of his face going like this, like kind of thing. I would love to get to that point, but it's right now it's not the be all end all. It just doesn't matter. But I always say, and to your point, Locutus, is that faces sell. When I go to people's websites at the end of each video, I would love to see faces. They help people self-identify with who the product or service is for. I love to see faces in Instagram, in the grid, and on Facebook and stuff like that, because you look at just look at the grid and you just look at the interactions from faces to no faces, or even just a hand holding the product. And it doesn't even have to be a face, and it almost always has better interaction engagement than no face, just like the picture of the thing. Now that's not the case in every case. There's always exceptions to the rule, but I would say by and large, like you got to put pictures of people's faces. People want to see, they want to identify with people. But yeah, so I mean that I guess the only other thing I wanted to show or a couple things. One thing is the geographics of the channel. So over the last 365 days, we are a little over half is coming from United States. 7.6% India, 6% Canada. I don't feel like I hear enough from my Canadian audience, honestly. I mean, I know Jody's up in Canada, but I don't know. 6%, it seems to be an awful lot. Philippines, 2.7%. United Kingdom, 2.5%. And then it goes down from there. The other thing that's always really surprised me is the male to female ratio of the channel. With my podcast, most of the people that have listened to the podcast that I know of that have reached out to me and talked to me have been female, mostly middle-aged, like 35 to 54, probably more like 40 to 55. And with the channel, it clearly is very different from that. It's very much male driven. But I will say, if I go back to 28 days, the female audience is starting to come back into the picture, which is awesome. I'm super happy to hear and see that. And I'm also kind of surprised that at the demographic of 18 to 44, which I think is a pretty good clip of people watching the channel, is really great to see. That it's not just 65 plus or 55 plus, but a pretty good rounded amount of audience. And like I said, I'd like to get the female audience up a bit more, maybe to like 30% or something around that, maybe even more than that. But one other thing here on this page on the audience side, when your viewers are on, because we have a global audience, it seems like there isn't much in the light purple department. So which really lends itself to being a global audience and being able to have people watching almost around the clock, which is absolutely awesome. And that is a great point, Locutus, that YouTube viewership is generally male dominated. Uh, so maybe if I get to a 30 or 40% female audience, like that would be absolutely awesome. Yeah, I think it's like 55 percent plus male. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I tend to think that as that number will continue to grow, because it has been growing in the right direction, especially with the new season and bringing and me being solo versus having on a guest, I think increases the potential for that. Almost 10% subscribed, which is crazy because it wasn't that long ago that was like less than 1% subscribed to the channel. And the only other thing on this page was other channels, audiences, watches. So CNBC, Shark Tank Global, which is an official Shark Tank channel, ABC, Sony Pictures Television, Dragon's Den, which is an official channel, Damon John, which is pretty cool. I think to me that's probably the coolest of all of them. Shark Tank Australia, Dragon's Den Canada, and Inc., which is great to see. Now, one person that fell off was Kevin O'Leary. Kevin O'Leary's channel was up here for a while, and he has fallen off. I don't know if I change to 365. Nah, it doesn't change that, but. What was it? Let's see. Watch time. The watch time. This I think is really kind of fascinating because you see, like, I was only getting back in a year ago. It was very sporadic with how long I could get people to watch videos, and I think it's a testament to figuring out your formula, figuring out what's working, what's not working, looking at your retention graphs, follow the data, and then you'll see like, okay, things will start to go in the direction that you are trying to make them go. Locuta says, perhaps you need more female lead pitches or products that appeal to females, or having females commenting on the pitches. I've had quite a few female guest business owners biz coaches come onto the channel. I don't know that that's the case. I really want female entrepreneurs to come to the channel. I don't necessarily like. It's great when people come and say, "Oh, I was looking up this product and I saw it." Like that's awesome. I really do appreciate that, but at the end of the day, I really want females who identify as entrepreneurs to come to the channel. It does better for the business. It does better for the comments. It does better for everything on the business side of what I'm doing and why I'm doing it versus the entertainment side. And great, like I know people come to the channel only to watch the show, and I can show you retention graphs that clearly show that like as soon as I start talking, there's a clear like little dip there where people are jumping to to where the show is, and that's okay. Like I'm still getting paid on those views, right? I'm still getting exposure with those views. Not the end of the world. Doesn't bother me one bit. And I've had countless people to this point come to me and say, I came for the video, I stayed for the commentary, and I'm back, and now I'm really engaged in learning more and growing a business or starting a business or something to that effect. And that's really why I'm doing that. Or doing all of this. So, to me, the people that have something negative to say about it, like, whatever, those people are starting to like fade into the background very, very rapidly here over the last couple of weeks. Not that they aren't there, and I still get some crazy, negative comments, but, I just think it's so awesome to see so many people that get it and they're coming back to the channel and all that. And, I want this to be an inspiration to people that are trying to make it, whatever it is that you're trying to make happen, and sticking to your guns. Like, look at the data, look at what people are saying in the comments. There might be hints in those rude comments. And in some cases there was hints in those rude comments. But you have to be willing to like step back, make those hard decisions. Look at the look at the thumbnail, look at the video, look at what you're offering in the video, look at how you're starting the video, look at how you're ending the video, everything. Now, I'll say one thing that I could change, but I'm not going to change because I also think that even as much as you should follow the data, you should also stick to your guns to a certain extent. And because when you know you're right, you're right. At the end of each video, I go to their website and I go to their social media, and it takes like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. But if I cut those, like, and the retention of the video starts to slip off, right? But that slip is starting to push up. So it's not as many people dropping off as there was, say, 6 months ago, for sure. Like, 6 months ago, there was a lot of videos where it's like people just dropped off. As soon as they got the deal or didn't get the deal, like people are out, right? And I don't want to check out the website until after that. But I think that as the audience grows, that percentage will continue to push up of people that are there to watch the to go through their website. Because that's also like a time capsule, right? It's not just about what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong, but it's a time capsule of where they are right there in that moment, especially on the nights where Shark Tank just aired. And seeing like, oh, are they sold out already? Like it's been an hour since it aired. Or is their site down? Is this broken? Is there's what's going on? So I like that because in a lot of ways it's the only interaction that we'll have with these businesses. It's not like, oh, I saw it on Shark Tank, I'm going to get in my car, drive to my local supermarket and go buy it right now. Now, in some cases that's the case, but in most cases that's not the case. That you can't just run to the store and go get it. So this might be the only opportunity that they have to like capture, customers and an audience. Locutus says, what do you think about YouTube hiding dislike views for the viewers? God. Okay. Let me get some water. I'll tell you. When it first came to light that was the thing, like the other, I don't know, a week ago, it was almost a week ago now, or yeah, it's like around a week ago. I was like, hooray, awesome! My most disliked video, which is also my most liked video, admittedly, is not going to have its dislike counter shown anymore, so that it's like a 50% ratio there, where people have actually commented on that video and said, hey, I liked the video, but because of the like to dislike ratio, I'm going to dislike it to keep the 50% going. Which I guess at the end of the day, I mean, dislikes don't really matter. They just tell the algorithm like, hey, you didn't like that video, so don't pretty much serve me up another one of those videos. Combine that with the likes and the dislikes in general. Like YouTube is so from my understanding, YouTube is so granular that if you like every single video like that you watch pretty much, or if you like every single video of a specific creator, YouTube will basically chuck your like or your dislike out. It doesn't wait. They're weighted based on how often you give out likes. So if you don't like a lot of videos, when you give a like, it means something. Versus me, who like every time I click on a Linus Tech Tips video, I'm liking the video within seconds of the video, because I already clicked on the video. So at first I was like, yay, like great, this is like a win in some ways, right? But in the week since then, using YouTube has actually been very frustrating because I thought it was a bit of like whining from these big, MKBHD line. It's like, well, I'm looking up tutorials and I can't see the dislike button, and I'm like, wow, this is such a niche thing. Like, what's the big deal? Blah blah blah. But I'll tell you, I want to see the dislike counter, because if I see watching a video and I don't like the video, even if it's from a creator I like, I'm like, ooh, God, like I want to see like what's the dislike, on this video. A great example of that was when Dyson did their Dyson release of that new vacuum like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and like all of a sudden, like every YouTuber had a Dyson video that like even ones that like you review laptops, you don't review vacuum cleaners. Like, what are you doing? Um, Taking the money, right? Making ding ding happen, right? So, which is great. I'm all for that. But I would say at the end of the day, I wish that it would come back. I really, I really, really wish it would come back. I think YouTube should really seriously consider bringing it back. And I was thinking one way they could do that without necessarily making it a thing, like going backwards to say showing you the actual number of dislikes, they could show you the like count, the dislike button, right, with the word dislike, and then under it showing you the percentage of people that liked it versus disliked. Just show the percentage. Right. So at least then you're seeing a percentage. And then if you really wanted to figure out how many dislikes, you could figure it out. But that's not the point. The point is, I want to see what general consensus is of the people that are watching this video is without having to necessarily go to the comments. And I do agree that like because the dislike button has been axed, the comments could be next. And that would be devastating to the platform. Locutus says likes don't actually mean much to the video. The reason being is that fans are always going to like the video. Oh, absolutely, and I do it myself, right? And I know that my like is not going to mean as much as somebody else's like. You know what? It's the same as anything. People find this little hack will get you, to this level of new viewers or get this out there. And then marketers, and in this case, YouTubers, will just ruin it. They'll just beat it into the ground to the point where, it throws off the numbers and isn't a genuine number. So that's when they come up with things like, oh, we'll just weight all of the likes. So if you like every video, it doesn't really mean a whole lot. It just becomes this big number, and it really doesn't mean anything. Just kind of like subscribers don't mean anything. That's fallen out of being important. It's like I showed earlier with the audience being, for the last 28 days, right? Like go back to that. You look at the last 28 days, I have 13,500 returning viewers, returning people to my videos versus the 2,700, almost 2,800 subscribers. Like I've gotten to the point where I stopped asking for subscribers in the videos. I just stopped asking. I stopped asking for likes. I stopped asking for subscribers, and I still get both. In fact, in one case, one of the videos is like my second most liked video now, and I didn't ask for a like. I didn't ask for subscribers. Nothing. You just deliver a great great video with a great format, easy to follow, and those are the things that I had to figure out how to do within the confines of the YouTube copyright bot. Though that's a thing, So for me, people are like, "Oh, you need to play it full screen." Like, yeah, I'd love to. Why don't you do that? Because if it was that easy, everyone would do that. And honestly, to a certain extent, I want it to be difficult because I don't want it to be that easy for someone else to come and knock me off. Now, obviously, they don't have my personality. They don't have. They're not me, and the bubble I've created. But it's still one it's kind of like when you're the only game in town. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. Ask any monopolist out there. Simon Whistler always talks about watch time. Watch time is super crucial, right? So that between that and returning viewers is very much like the most important things. Are people staying through the video? How much are they completing the video? How much watch time are they putting into the video? And are they returning for a second video? That's it. Those are the things, right? You get people to stay on the video. It's going to go a lot further than asking anybody to smash the like button. I keep waiting for Graham Stephan to stop asking for the like button to be smashed at the beginning of every video. Locuta says, "Don't you qualify for fair use under commentary?" So I do, but the problem is the YouTube copyright bot doesn't know that. So yeah, I could post a video, and I've had YouTube come back on videos that I just left unlisted and say, "Oh, this is fine. Your video is good." But like that's 2 weeks later. Like I'm not gonna wait around for that. Like that takes forever. So I'm not gonna do that anytime soon because on new Shark Tank videos, they're going live within an hour. With actually in some cases the first pitch is going live before the show even finishes airing here on the East Coast. So, and I guess it's on the East Coast. So it's important for me to be able to capture those views out of the gate with all the amount of people that are searching for the channel. And you know what? That reminds me of the last thing I wanted to look to show here. From all these stats is with all the 2.1 million impressions, 51%, over 51% now is coming from recommended, which is ding ding, because for the longest time this was not happening. For the longest time, if I go back, let's go to, I don't want to go all the way through 2020, but we'll go like 11, 20 to, I don't know, we'll say June 30th, 2021. 25.4%. 25.4%. So the channel wasn't being recommended. Most of my traffic came out of search because of Shark Tank, right? People searching for those videos. And now, if I go the last 28 days, I'm at 51%. If I go last 90 days, I'm at 46% over the last 90 days. Lore Reloaded. I'm gonna check that out because I want to see what he's doing on his reaction videos. Cool. I will be checking that out. So let me make sure I drop that there. But yeah, thank you for that, Locutus. I appreciate that because any way that I want to play the video full screen, but I also want the video to be able to go up. And because the thing is if I do, there's a difference. There's a difference there. There's a difference between being able to play the video, but CBS, like say CBS, taking the money for the video, right? Versus just the video not being authorized in like 51% of my audience or 70% of my audience cannot watch the video because it's copyrighted in that area. So there's a difference. And I'll tell you, every show is different. And I don't know if it's because the network is different because the shows I've done, I don't think I've done multiple shows on one particular network, but every show has different tolerances. Every show has, and even parts of episodes have different tolerances. That's why if you go back and watch my videos, there's some parts that are just completely blurred out. And I figured out other ways around that in the meantime now, but like at the time, the quickest way to get the video up was like, well, screw it. I'll just chop it up and like insert some blurring and then we'll get right through and then I don't have to worry about it. So yeah, am I covered under fair use? Absolutely. I have a copyright lawyer that I work with. Everything's cool, but waiting around to like get the video up is not going to help get the channel and me where I want to be, right? That's the important part. And sometimes getting, what was it? Done or perfect is the enemy to done or good enough. It doesn't always, to me, it doesn't necessarily need to be perfect because the people that are coming back for me are the ones I really care about. Those are my true audience, right? People that come for the video, for the Shark Tank video, that's awesome. That's great. I don't have no ill will. Like, it's doing great. It's helping the channel in some ways. But ultimately, like, I'm here for the super entrepreneurs. I'm here for people who are actually looking to learn. And that's what I'm mostly here for. Hey, what's up? Keep calm, couponing. After finding your videos, I legit binged every video. Oh man. Also, thanks for the follow on Instagram. Not many faces, but you followed anyway. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm so glad that you binged all the videos. I have so many more coming. This week I kind of took off, but next week and the next 2 weeks there won't be any Shark Tank, so I will be pumping out some videos, and hopefully I'll feel better because I've been dealing with a little bit of a cold, and it hasn't been great to be talking. I actually feel pretty decent this morning, so way more to come. Joshua says, your video is the only way to watch Shark Tank fully for me who don't see TV. Oh man. Well, and that's the thing, right? Oh, there you go. Perfection is the enemy to the enemy of profitability. Absolutely. Ding ding, right? Like if that wasn't the case, like we'd have one iPhone. The one iPhone came out remember when the one iPhone came out back in 2009, and it was the only iPhone forever and always, and that because it was perfect and nobody ever had to buy another one again unless they broke it. Ding ding to more videos. Absolutely. Yes, there's way more coming down. It's like now that I've gotten the entrepreneurs situated to just Tuesdays, I'm going to be doing a lot more Shark Tank, and then trying to get back in the swing of things of getting like a 5-day schedule of releases. I don't want to just get pigeonholed into just doing Shark Tank, but it is where the most growth is coming from. So I'm a little resistant, but at the same time trying to make it happen. And Joshua, going back, there are a lot of people who around the world that are watching the channel, as I showed earlier with the audience percentage. But so I sympathize with that. If there's no other way for people to be able to watch the show where they live, and that's one of the reasons why I've constantly, even people don't even notice, like even at times where I would whenever I'd get those comments like, oh, you need, the video needs to be bigger or this, that, or a third. Like there was times where I went and would test out I was always testing out new video layouts and things like that, but it just doesn't get through the system. And that's really the problem. So, the newest version of all the newest videos for like the last like 2.5 months or so, that version has been the best. And I still get people say, hey, your video is taking up is cutting off some of the video. Your face is cutting off the video. Like how dare you? And it's like, okay, like you realize like this video wouldn't exist here if I didn't do it the way I do it. And I do a hell of a lot of testing to make it happen. So you're welcome. But I do, it is intentional. Everything that I'm doing is intentional as far as like the way the videos are laid out and all that. And now with the way they're laid out, where the video is like pretty much like half the screen, it helps people that want to scrub through the video. That's fine. Doesn't hurt my feelings at all. I mean, I'm still getting the ad revenue at the end of the day, so it's kind of whatever. But, we're here for the super entrepreneurs. We're not here to just break copyright law at all. That's not the intention. And I think the lesson there is figure out what you can do to cut through the noise and get people to pay attention to you. I'm not just doing this for attention. It's not the case. But what I'm saying is for your brand, get your people to pay attention to your brand and to what you're bringing to the table. Because there's so many people that would have never heard of me before if I was still just doing business lesson videos. And I have other friends who release business lesson videos. I still would love to just do business lesson videos too, but it just it doesn't get the search traffic, it doesn't get the eyeballs, it doesn't get the traction. So trying to figure out like that middle ground there is great. Yes, quote, how dare you. Look, Judas, they don't realize what you do allows people to watch the video to complain. Exactly. And you know what? At the end of the day, and I say this to every single person, even the ones that get hidden for certain words and things like that, I will unhide those comments. I will tell them that I appreciate them. I appreciate them watching and commenting. And then I ultimately end up hiding them from the channel. And I feel safe saying this an hour and 18 minutes into the video, but I do. I hide them from the channel. And the reason I do is because I don't want that negativity in the comments to prevent somebody else from coming in and commenting something positive or about the video or learning or anything like that. So like congratulations, you found a video that wasn't for you. Hooray. You made a comment about it. Good for you. I appreciate you watching and commenting. If you didn't watch, okay, that's not the end of the world. You still commented. Comments are weighted better than likes and dislikes anyway. Congratulations. Have a wonderful day. I hope that whatever makes you feel terrible to go and write something so mean, because some of these are really freaking mean. Hope your day gets better and can get through that. I really do, because that's what being super is all about, and bringing the super out of other people. Keep calm. Couponing says, I have people tell me what I should do on my channel all the time. I'm still not even monetized yet, but my channel, it's my channel. LOL, leave me alone. And that ding for that, because at the end of the day, when people come to your channel and they're gonna like, oh, well, you should do this or that, and I have to sometimes check myself too, because I will sometimes want to be like, oh, I had to deal with these trolls earlier today, and then I'm getting this feedback here. But sometimes now, when the feedback on these older videos I did, or oh, the video's too small, or this, that, and that, like at the time I wasn't thinking, and maybe you'll see this. Keep calm couponing is the rude comments sometimes have a hint in them of something that maybe you should look at it, but you have to back that up with data too, right? Like, look at the data that you have available to you, especially now as YouTube has so much data available. Look at that data and look at what's enables you to be able to say, well, does this work? Are people really watching this part? Could this be better? Could that be better? I don't, some people say, oh, you give too much credit to the trolls and the haters out there. By even saying oh, I appreciate you commenting and watching, or watching and commenting, and then putting them in the videos. I stopped putting them in the videos because of that, because I don't want to give them attention. I've made a video about how I heart my negative comments and all that, and it does. You just look for the advice. Look for what is it that person's really looking for, and try to separate it from the rude comment that they're probably dealing with something to be able to shout into the void of the internet and at somebody. And I look at my comments and I'm like, dude, if I was not as headstrong, and look, at the beginning of this thing, I said I had guest biz coaches on because I didn't feel strong enough to do them myself because of some of the negative comments I was getting along the way. And ironically, when I stopped having guests on, I actually got more positive comments than before. But the channel's also grown since then, so it's hard to really say. So, when you're looking at that stuff, look for what takeaways can I give, and again, separate from the rudeness of it, and because like I said, or I was about to say, people that say these negative things, if I wasn't as headstrong as am, I would probably be crying on the couch behind me into the Nick Cage and a banana pillow sitting behind me, because some of these comments are really vicious and savage and whatever you want to call it. It's not good and it's not healthy. And I've had to take a step away from some of this as well, because some of these comments, and now things are starting, I've pushed past all that, or not all of it, but a lot of it, to get where we're at, where we're getting a lot more positive comments and people wanting to be a part of this community than, just saying something mean. Low Cutest says, I ask people complaining about videos, how much did they pay to watch the free content? I mean, that's a fair point. Now, with that said, people are allowed to have their opinions. I mean, I'm not, I don't know, subversing enough. I don't know what the term is. I'm not head up my butt enough to think like, well, I'm giving my opinion about this video, even if I, am qualified or feel qualified. They feel qualified and entitled to their comment as well. I mean, there's a comment section. You could turn comments off. Not great idea, but it's. I prefer, like, I used to leave those comments up, those negative comments, because I would say, oh, I appreciate you. And a lot of those comments where I said I appreciate you would get more likes, or as many likes sometimes, as the negative comment to begin with. But then I got to a point where it's like it was weighing on me so much that I was thinking more about those negative comments than I was thinking about the positive comments I was also receiving. So I got to a point where I was like, you know what? I was like, screw it. I'm just going to go back and hide all those people from the channel. And I wanted people to see that, like, I could say I appreciate you, because I had a couple people comment over the last year that say, I love to see how you're handling these negative comments. But like I said a little bit ago, I want to nurture a positive community around being super and being the best version of ourselves. And in order to do that, having those comments and I'm not really one for censorship. I generally don't like it. But if you don't have something nice to say and it's not constructive, then it has no place here for that. There is no place here for that. So I ultimately hid them. I started to feel better about what I was doing. But I also don't want to be head up the butt kind of person where it's like I'm only hearing in the echo chamber either. So, but the ones that were critical or of me or the way the content was structured, I left those up. I just didn't leave the ones that were like cursing at me or calling me bald or like just demeaning or degrading me or my guests through or even the people that are in the videos that we're talking about. I think that there's just no place for that here. Unfortunately, but fortunately. So the free content thing also goes back to, like, some people just don't have access to the TV shows, as Joshua pointed out. Like, the country that they live in doesn't get it. And apparently, I think with a comment I got today was in South Africa, I think, or yes, maybe it was yesterday, where maybe it was Australia or South Africa. They cannot get it, even with a VPN. They cannot, access Shark Tank there. So, we're delivering this content to places that just isn't available otherwise either. So, the other thing is it's not my responsibility to produce the content that is for everybody. It's my intention, and should be your intention, to produce content that is for you and for the people that you are trying to reach. And in the case of people that are just there to watch the show, that's awesome, great. Beggars shouldn't be choosers. And it is what it is. Like, go start your own channel. Go complain to somebody else to make the channel the way you want that channel to be made. That's not going to fly here, because I have a plan and I'm executing on said plan. So, yeah. Couponing says, yes, I agree. Some opinions can lead to changes and growth in your channel, but I've had people tell me not to give my daughter goldfish crackers when she was in one of the videos. Okay, well, that's their opinion, and goldfish crackers are good. I don't see what the I mean, is she like eating is she like was it mukbang golden crackers, just like double bagging, or like going to the store and like buying the whole rack of goldfish crackers? Like, come on, like, that's ridiculous. Yeah, no, that's the kind of stuff that as long as it's not rude, I would just say I appreciate you watching and commenting, and because a lot of ways it'll probably make them mad and want to come back and watch more videos, and then they might love to hate you. Which, hey, if there's people out there that love to hate me, that's okay. That's fine. Let's be constructive. We don't have to be positive all the time. I'm the most realist was it positive realist you'll ever meet. Like, I'm not always super positive. That's not what being super is about, right? But it what is about is trying to be real, as positive as possible and as nice as possible about it, even if it is critical. Locutus says there is a difference between constructive criticism and non-constructive criticism. Absolutely. Being the best of ourselves is a very Star Trek philosophy. In the 24th century, humans have evolved beyond pettiness. You know what? Maybe I need to give more Star Trek a chance. I did watch the movies, the newest movies. I really like those. I just never went back and watched any of the TV shows. And we do need to evolve past the pettiness, because it's not going to help us get off this planet any easier or make life anywhere else that we make life at any easier either. And apparently she had a small bag, Ziploc bag, and she's 2. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Keep calm and carry on. Keep calm, couponing, 110%. Ryan Perez says, Joe, I've been watching your YouTube. It looks great. Thank you so much, Ryan. Greatly appreciate it. I appreciate you all watching and commenting and being a part of this 1-year anniversary. I want to do more live streams here on the channel going forward. Maybe get back to maybe doing some of the entrepreneurs live as well. Unfortunately, I do have to go. I do have to get going because my son will be getting off the bus soon. Hold on, I just got this comment here. Let's see what this says. Here you go. Olivia says, not interested in becoming an entrepreneur at all, but I learned so much from you and enjoy your videos. Keep it up. Well, Olivia, I know you're probably not watching this video right now, unless you are. I greatly appreciate that. And that is the goal, right? Is to do a little better. And even if you don't want to be an entrepreneur, that's okay. Owning a business isn't for everyone, right? But we can learn so much about ourselves from these videos, right? And we can learn so much about the businesses around us that we interact with day in and day out, and have a better understanding of what they do and why. I'll tell you real quick, because I really got to go, because this bus is probably going to show up any second or any minute now. One of my favorite places to go in the whole wide world is Disney World. Anyone that really knows me knows I love Disney, and I got to get some more Disney stuff in my background at some point here, like I used to have in my old videos. But going to Disney World is such an amazing experience for me, because I am just taking in all of the processes and operations and all that. And as a quick pitch for my book, whatever, but you can go Sales Won't Save Your Business. But the foreword is written by the former executive vice president of Walt Disney World Resort, Lee Cockrell. And in that case, Lee Cockrell, being he was the operations, I guess like the COO of Disney World during the time in which I grew up, and he enabled me to have a magical childhood, getting to go to Disney World because of the stuff that he created. Go check out Lee Cockrell; he's phenomenal. And all that. Oh, Rob Plays has a good dish. I will check out Rob Plays as well. Locutus, you are so welcome. Thank you for hanging in there for this whole video. This whole live stream. It's been so much fun. I want to do more. Like, if I'm gonna use and burn up my voice, then this is how I want to do it. Not reading the news word for word, because that was getting a bit tedious. But anyway, I appreciate you all, and I look forward to actually later today. I got to put out a Shark Tank preview video, so look forward to that, because we got a new Shark Tank tomorrow night. And tomorrow night I will be putting out all of those videos, all 4 pitches, between 9 p.m. Eastern and 11 p.m. Eastern. And I do that for all of you, because you know what? Tomorrow night, I could have been down enjoying a black truffle 5-course meal at one of our casinos down here. I got the email and I was like, Melissa, look, we can go do this, because the kids are gonna go to your parents' house, and it's gonna be awesome. We'll have one night off from it's like our 4th or 5th time off in the last 2 years. How awesome is that? And I'm like, oh, it's Friday night, it's Shark Tank night, I can't do it. So we're gonna make it up tomorrow night, the night after, but would have been really cool. Anyway, have an amazing day, everyone, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.